We think why life is so complicated, why we have to struggle, and for how much time. Am I going into right direction to achieve my goals, my dream? Few of these questions always rise in your mind, and you want to find the answer. What next to do? You need to follow 7 steps to achieve what you want in your life. First, dream what you want in life. Register one thing in your mind when you have a dream. You've got to grab it and never let go. There is nothing impossible to them who try. Nothing is impossible in this world. It's all about your belief, which register in your subconscious mind. If your belief is positive, it reflects positivity around you. Else you will attract negative things around you. And all these things happen as per your subconscious mind vibes. Being lucky is great, but life is meant to be experienced. Sometimes the only way out of stress is through it. Face struggle to overcome challenges in life, and face it with positive approach. Many times battle happens to help teach us a lesson which is called experience. We can either learn from that experience or deny it. The human mind's primary goal is to keep ourselves safe. Sometimes this leads to self-damage, as it's just easier to stay in your comfort zone and avoid risk. However, great things never come from mediocrity. Quit settling for average and strive for extraordinary. Boldly go in the direction of your dreams and follow it deeply. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. Stand tall and show the world what you are made of. When the world puts you down, find a reason to get back up again. Never give up on the success. Try, and try again. If you fail, try again. Feed your mind ideas of success and positivity, not failure. Remember, the only way you can get fail is if you stop trying. And if you give up, every time you fail, you climb up one step of success ladder. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. You are not scared. You are strong. You are not weak. You are powerful. You are not ordinary. You are unique. Do not back down. Do not give up. Do not lose hope. When you look back on your life, don't have regrets. Believe in yourself. Believe in your future. You will find your way. A fire burning inside you is mighty. It is waiting to burn bright. You are meant to do great things. Following your dreams can be both terrifying and exciting. Courage is facing fear. Fear of failure holds most people back. You are not most people. Nobody else can go and do this but you. Nobody will get in the way of your dreams. You will be creating something that wasn't there before. It's marvelous, it's beautiful, and it's you. Give it your best, and your dreams will come to life. Success is yours. Go for your dreams. It is your turn now. Let me tell you one story. One businessman was in debt and couldn't figure out a way out of it. Creditors were pressing him. Suppliers were demanding for a payment. He was sitting on a bench in the park with his head down, thinking what could save the company from bankruptcy. Suddenly, an old man appeared in front of him. "I see that something is bothering you," he said. After listening to the businessman, the old man said, "I think I can help you." He asked the businessman what his name was, wrote him a check and said, "Take this money. We will meet here exactly in 1 year, and you will be able to return it to me at that time." After that, he turned around and disappeared just as suddenly as he appeared. The businessman saw a check in his hands for an amount of $500,000, signed by John Rockefeller, one of the richest people in the world at that time. "I could end all of my problems in no time," he thought, but instead, the businessman decided to put the check into his safe. Only one thought about its existence gave him strength to find a solution to save his business. With the return of his optimism, he concluded profitable deals. During a couple of months, he got out of debt and started to earn money again. Exactly 1 year later, he returned to the park with the same check. At the agreed time, the old man appeared again, and at the moment when the businessman wanted to return the check and to share his story of success, a nurse ran up and grabbed the old man. "I'm so glad I caught him," she exclaimed. "I hope he wasn't bothering you. He always runs away from the house and tells he is John Rockefeller." The businessman was surprised. During the whole year he was spinning and building a business, buying and selling, convinced that he had $500,000. And suddenly he understood that it's not the money, real or imaginary, that turned his life up. It was his new confidence and belief that gave him strength to achieve everything that he had now. Always believe in yourself that you will going to achieve your dream one day. This will give you positive vibes and that will help you to stay motivated towards your goal. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Life has got all those twists and turns. You've got to hold on tight and off you go. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. Believe in your dream and yourself. Be courageous. Challenge routine work. Stand up for what you believe in. When you will be in your rocking chair talking to your grandchildren many years from now, be sure you have a good story to tell. You must make a choice to continue living your life feeling unsettled in this black hole of self-misunderstanding, or you find your identity independent of it. You draw your own box. I just want you to know that if you are out there and you are being really hard on yourself right now for something that has happened, it's normal. That is what is going to happen to you in life. No one gets through unharmed. We are all going to have a few scratches on us. Please be kind to yourselves and stand up for yourself. Please, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script. Please take a note that you are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Let me give one example here. It was a hot day, and the sands were glittering like gold in a desert. Sam, touring the place, lost his way in the desert. He could not find his way back, and the water in his bottle dry. He was in desperate search of water. Otherwise, he will die due to dehydration. As he struggled walking in the desert, he saw a small hut at a distance. Initially, he thought it was just an illusion, but he continued walking towards it, and as he reached closer, he realized it was a hut. He opened the door and found nobody there. It seemed like the place was in abandoned condition for a long time. He was surprised to see a hand water pump, and it had all connections intact and a pipeline to the ground. Then he started pumping, and there was no sign of water, and he continued his effort and gave up due to exhaustion. He started searching the hut for any other source of water. Then he found a bottle of water hidden in the corner. He was happy, and when he was about to drink the water, he found a piece of paper attached. It was written in the paper, "Please use this water to start the pump. It works. After you have done, do not forget to refill the bottle again." After reading the message in the paper, he went into a dilemma. Will the pump work if I use this water? Is the pump in good condition? Can I trust the words in the paper? If it is false, then my last source of water will get waste. He paused for a minute and closed his eyes and prayed. Then he poured the water from the bottle into the pump and pumped it. Soon, he heard a bubbling sound, and water started pouring out. There was a moment of relief on his face. He drank the water and filled his bottle. Then he got refreshed and refilled the bottle from the hut. He stayed in the hut for some time and looked around. Then he saw a pencil and a map explaining the direction to the nearby village from the hut location. He was happy that his faith in the water pump worked. Similarly, He believed that the map would direct him in the right direction. Then he wrote in the paper, "Have faith, it works." And he kept both the bottle and paper to the exact place from where he took. Happily, he left the hut. In our life, there will be times when we need belief. The moment we start believing, things will fall in our place. Once we have faith, regardless of the outcome, we should continue our efforts towards it. It will pay more than we wanted. At the end of the day, whether or not those people are comfortable with how you're living your life doesn't matter. What matters is whether you're comfortable with it. Dreams don't have to just be dreams. You can make it a reality. If you just keep pushing and keep trying, then eventually you shall reach your goal. And if that takes a few years, then that should be great. But important thing is that you reach the finish line of your dream. Confidence plays an important role in this process. If you want to make your dreams come true, the first things you have to do is start believing it. And have self-confidence in yourself. Every morning, first thing to do that is smile in the mirror. Do that every morning and you'll start to see a big difference in your life. Some people dream of success, while other people get up every morning and make it happen. The real life story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, who was disappointed umpteen times in his life and still made his dream come true late in his life, is really inspiring. He is a 7th grade dropout who tried many ventures in life but tasted bitter every time. He started selling chicken at his age of 40, but his dream of a restaurant was turned down many times due to conflicts and wars. Later, he attempted to franchise his restaurant. His recipe got rejected 1,009 times before the final approval. And soon the secret recipe, Kentucky Fried Chicken, became a huge hit worldwide. KFC was expanded globally, and the company was sold for $2 million. And his face is still celebrated in the logos. Have you stopped your attempts to a venture just because you were rejected or failed a few times? Can you even accept the failure of 1,009 times? This story inspires everyone to try hard and believe in yourself until you see success despite how many times you have failed. It doesn't matter how you look in front of mirror, but it always matters how confident you are by seeing yourself in mirror. This will build your self-confidence. Confidence towards one step closer towards your dream and goal. I want you to build that confidence, that trust in yourself. Stay consistent, stay committed, and stay hungry towards your goals. People always tell you that look at the world in their way. Parents tells you how to think. Schools tells you how to learn. TV and media and friends guide you as per their direction. Then, at a certain point, if you're lucky, then you realize you can make up your own mind. Nobody sets the rules but you. You can design your own life. And trust me, you have to design your own life, not anyone else. Because this is your own life. And you have all rights to make your own decision. It never matters what anyone says you can or can't do. It really matters what opinions others have for your life. This will change your life and what they consider possible, which may be not easy to achieve. If you start believing in yourself, then success in life is easy to achieve. Why don't you believe in yourselves? It's because that as soon as things get tough in our lives, we start doubting our abilities. We start thinking that we may not make it till end. Sometimes stress, worry, and imagine things that may goes wrong puts break. Sometimes we will never forget the bad memory, or should I say the bad things are past. It's full of sadness, anguish, angers, and full of bad moment. The moment that you don't like to let it back again or enter into your life. The sadness, anguish, and anger, and any different kinds of challenges come to you. It will mold you to become a stronger person and face the different challenges that will come to you. and you will never afraid to face it, and gives you a motivational to reach out your dreams and goals in life. You need to understand, the human mind is the most powerful as well as most destructive tool you own. And you need to learn how to navigate it, control it of the direction of your mind and your feelings. Your mind is going to provide you greatest strength in life because it is so powerful. So, if you can conquer your mind, you can pretty much conquer anything else around you, really. When designing the plan of your life, make sure you control it by yourself, not others. Make sure not only that you hold the pen, but you write the script. Be brave when writing your script. It's your story, and there are no limits to what you can have, what you can do, or what you can be. It's really about how bad do you want it. It's gotta hurt you not to achieve it. You have to prove it to yourself that you want it badly. And that's when you're going to learn to control your mind. Your mind will no longer be able to say no, because your inner soul and mind are aligned. And now nothing can stop you that time. Life will never have easy things. That is life. When everything is going against you, that's the time you need to stand up and fight for your justice, your dream, your goal. You must be able to understand what's right for you and what brings results to your life. Comedy actor Jim Carrey is a favorite among all those who love this genre. His performance in The Mask and other such movies has won him fans world over. The stories of his early days, though, are one of sadness. When he was 12 years, his father lost his job, and the family lost their only source of income. With no money, they could not even afford a house and to stay in a van. With the family in a desperate situation, Carrey had no option but to drop out of school and take up work. He worked as a janitor and security guard to earn money for his family. His situation did not make him lose hope or give up. He believed he had an natural flair for comedy and pursued this line. Soon he got into the comedy circuit and people started to take note of him. This opened up a career in Hollywood with movie offers. He went on to become one of the top actors with a great fan following, a multi-millionaire now. He would never have reached this far had he given hope in those difficult days. The lesson we learn is to pursue what you love, no matter what the troubles you may have. That's when you will shine. That's when you will be reborn. You are valuable. Your dream is valuable. Your success is valuable. If you give up, you can't build a story. The world is full of people who gave up, and you don't want to be part of them. The world needs hope. We all know that. To shine through the dark times, to be the difference in world, you must believe in yourself. Most people are born with ordinary thoughts and mindsets, but it will be your mistake if you not change that attitude in life. And trust me, you can make changes. For that, you need to increase your appetite from ordinary to extraordinary. Think beyond what people thinking now. People trying to put you down, and such people will always be there. But believe in your mind, your goal, and have focus on your vision, because anything is possible if you just believe. Nourish your dreams. Everyone has inside of him a piece of good news. The good news is that you don't know how great you can be, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. All you need is the plan, the roadmap, and the courage to press onto your destination. Nobody built like you. You design yourself. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through these challenges. I can take the next thing that comes along. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. Remember, if you fear about anything, then you must do that thing first. This will boost your confidence. Do not allow people to dim your shine, because they don't know your potential. Tell them to put some sunglasses on. If you make yourself life a priority, then everything else you need on the outside will be given to you, and it will be extremely clear what the next step you want to take. Walt Disney, legendary pioneer of Disney cartoons. Walt Disney created the beloved animated character of Mickey Mouse and was the mastermind behind mesmerizing animations as well as scintillating theme parks. Growing up in a poor family, his artistic talent was sparked by a doctor in his neighborhood who asked him to draw a horse. Young Walt fell in love with drawing and painting and worked on improving his art by drawing cartoons from his father's newspaper. He joined the McKinsey High School as his family moved to Chicago, but dropped out at the age of 16, determined to join the Army. With his relentless efforts, he somehow entered the Red Cross and then traveled to France with the Army. Amidst the grim injuries and bloodshed that he witnessed daily, Walt found comfort in imagining new cartoon characters to fulfill his dream as an artist. Then, he came back to the city and took up a job as a cartoonist, though soon fired with a decline in revenue giving the reason that he lacked imagination. He wrote Alice in Wonderland while struggling with the fall of his two businesses, and then shifted to Hollywood to sell his story. But destiny had something else for him as he went on to produce Alice in Wonderland under the banner of Disney Bros. Studios. And then there was no looking back as the studio reached new heights and established itself among the top film studios in the country as well as the world. All dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life which you've imagined. Before you leave the house, say at least 5 things of yourself which you love about yourself. Like, I have really pretty eyes. I am very confident on my decisions. That way you can go out into the world with that extra confidence. In life, things happen around us, things happen to us. But the only thing that truly matters is how you choose to react to it and what you make out of it. Life is all about learning, adopting, and converting all the struggles that we experience into something positive. A tired bird landed on a branch. The bird rested, enjoying the view from the branch and the protection it offered from dangerous animals. Just as the bird became used to the branch and the support and safety it offered, a strong wind started blowing, and the tree swayed with such intensity that it seemed the branch would snap in half. But the bird was not worried, for it knew 2 important truths. The first truth, even without the branch it was able to fly, and thus remain safe through the power of its own 2 wings. The second truth, it also knew that there are many other branches upon which it can temporarily rest. This small story tells us a lot about our own self-confidence and courage. We are capable of so much more than we realize in everyday life. Next step you must take towards your goal is action plan. We generate fears while we sit. We overcome them by action. Always be a rainbow in your own cloud and support others. You just need to breathe and trust yourself. Let go. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you, ineffective in comparison to what lies inside of you. You need to be brave in your life. And when you make the choice to dare, you sign up to success in life. You can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you can't have both. Not at the same time. Every morning, you should tell to yourself that today is going to be a great day. I can, and I will bring change to my life. With the new day comes, it brings new strength and new thoughts. Every morning you must review your action plan, which make planning towards you goal achievement. Everyday action will keep you motivated internally. We all have problems, but it's not what happens to us. It is the choices we make after. You don't have to be defined or very small by your environment, by your family circumstances, and certainly not by your gender or your surroundings. When we let fear be our master, we cannot be happy and until we free as a butterfly. You must find the place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. Whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. You need to take risks. You need to go broke. You need to prove them wrong that you cannot do it. With a proper planning, this is achievable, simply by not giving up. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts today. It is never too late to be what you might have been. You do not find the happy life. You make it. Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make a new ending. Look upon it as the most perfect of life. Without leaps of imagination or dreaming, we lose the excitement of possibilities. Dreaming, after all, is a form of planning. Remember, if you don't know where you are going, you'll end up someplace else. Have a bias towards action. Let's see something happen now. You can break that big plan into small steps and take the first step right away. Our goals can only be reached through a vehicle of a plan, in which we must passionately believe, and upon which we must vigorously act. There is no other route to success. You are experienced enough to do this. You are knowledgeable enough to do this. You are prepared enough to do this. You are mature enough to do this. You are brave enough to do this. Belief creates the actual fact. An action plan shows the path. Your attitude is like a box of paint that color your world. Constantly color your picture gray, and your picture will always be bad. Try adding some bright colors to the picture by including effective plan, and your picture begins to lighten up clear. Written goals have a wonderful effect on your thinking. They motivate you and galvanize you into action. They stimulate your creativity, release your energy, and help you to overcome delay as much as any other factor. A good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. A marine biologist put a shark into a big tank at the time of a research experiment. Followed by that, he released some tiny bait fishes into it. As expected, the shark didn't wait to attack those fishes and ate them. Later, a clear fiberglass was inserted into the tank, which partitioned the tank into two, and the shark remained in one side. A similar set of bait fish was sent to the other side of the tank like before, and the shark attempted to attack those fishes, but failed by hitting on the fiberglass. The shark attempted for several days until it gave up. Later, the biologist removed the glass from the tank, but the shark didn't try to attack the small fishes. The shark always continues to see a false barrier in the tank and stopped his attempts. It is quite common for many people to give up after many setbacks and failures. The story is an example for keep trying always and to never give up despite multiple failures. Planning turns dreams into goals. Everyone has ideas. We all dream of a better life and keep wishing it would happen. And the only difference between us and those who are successful is that the successful ones already got it. Instead of spending time lost in daydreams, they are the ones who sat down, made an actual plan, and turned their dreams into real goals that they can accomplish. If you do this, you'll have a clear outline of things that need to be done for you to reach the next step, and you'll no longer be aimless and unsure about how to proceed. If there is something in life you really want, then you can get it as long as you form a good strategy and stick to it. It helps you stay prepared. Life is full of unforeseen problems, and they tend to strike at us when we are at our most vulnerable. Having a plan, however, makes these unforeseen events much easier to deal with, and it gives you the chance to fight back against whatever might come your way. If you rely on luck and the hope that everything will run smoothly, then you're likely to fail as soon as the first major problem comes your way. But if you try to predict tissues and leave yourself some room to maneuver, you'll be able to deal with it. It's one of the reasons why getting life insurance is such a smart idea for most people. No matter what happens, your family can be safe and protected. If you make sure you're covered on time, it helps you identify problems, rather than just making it easier to respond to problems. Planning can help you identify them in the first place. If you go into something blindly, you might not even realize that there might be many difficulties preventing you from getting where you need to be. However, if you sit down and carefully go over each step you want to make, you can pinpoint the exact tissues that might arise and prevent them before they even happen. It keeps you motivated. Planning makes everything you want to accomplish look more doable, rather than a vague idea that's left to chance. You can get a real step-by-step action sequence that you can take every day and know that, as long as you are consistent, it will pay off in the long run. You will also get a sense of purpose, and that's very beneficial for your mental health, because humans need a purpose in life if they are to be happy. You will increase your focus. Having a plan makes it easier to say no to things that aren't important to you. You'll no longer be pushed around in directions you don't want to go, and you can stand up and stick to your guns until you get what you want in life. Grow your focus by figuring your life out and making goals that are important to you, and become passionate about it. Stay true to yourself, respect your desires, and make a plan to reach your goals. It's the path to success, so value. Implement plan into real life. Another aspect is to implement your plan in your life. Many times it happens with us that we do everything, but when it is time of implementation, we shake up. This mindset, you need change with believe in yourself, your goal, and you only need seagulls, which is your dream, which you have written for yourself. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. I'm not going to continue knocking that old door that doesn't open for me. I'm going to create my own door and walk through that. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Not having the best situation, but seeing the best in your situation is the key to happiness. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Weaknesses are just strengths in the wrong environment. Just don't give up trying to do what you really want to do. Where there is love and inspiration, I don't think you can go wrong. Silence is the last thing the world will ever hear from me. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. The moment when you first wake up in the morning is the most wonderful of the 24 hours. No matter how weary or dreary you may feel, you possess the certainty that, during the day that lies before you, absolutely anything may happen. And the fact that it practically always doesn't matters. The possibility is always there. You've got to have personal goals. Be flexible in getting to those goals. But if you do not have goals, you will not achieve them. It is a myth that you need to rise and shine, and you are in this world for that. Some frogs were traveling through woods, and two of them accidentally fell into a pit. The other frogs, which were safe upside, understood how deep the pit was and saw no hope for the frogs to escape out of it. Both of these frogs started trying to get out of the pit, but failed many times. The frogs on the safe side shouted at them to give up the pain of trying, as it was not possible. Eventually, one frog heard the other frogs and decided to stop trying and fell down to death. However, the other frog went on trying and at last managed to reach the top. The other frogs asked him, "Did you not hear us?" He explained that he was deaf and thought other frogs were encouraging him to get out. Some people around you may ask you to be on a safer side always and stop trying and taking risks. However, there is no gain without pain. So try hard to achieve success in life despite what life offers you. Sometimes you think that, I'm not going to make it, but you laughed inside remembering all the times you felt that way. So that is fine. The sea and sky look all one fabric, as if sails were stuck high up in the sky, or the clouds had dropped down into the sea. So that thinking is only your imagination, that your need change and convert it into positive approach, learning how to be steady, to really be still, and you need focus on your goal and implementation in right direction. Here is one example. A man and his donkey were on the way to grazing while the donkey fell into a huge pit. The man was shaken and tried hard to pull off his favorite donkey up to the ground. Despite his strenuous attempts, he failed to bring the donkey back. But he can't leave the donkey to starve and die with pain for days. So he decided to bury him alive and make his death smoother. So he started pouring soil over the donkey in the pit. When he poured the soil, the donkey felt the load and shakes it off, and he steps on it. He does the same every time when the soil was poured on his body. In the end, he reached the ground level and easily walked away to graze in the green pastures. Moral is, don't choose to live with your problem. Just shake off your problems and stand on it, and step up in life after learning from them. Implement the plan which you have made, because every bad experience is a new learning. So get the positives out of it and work towards your goals. If you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams. You will always look positive. You radiance positive thought from your side to others. Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. A lot of people are afraid to say what they want. That's why they don't get what they want. We have to let go of who we think we should be and embrace what is. Being vulnerable is a strength, not a weakness. In order for the light to shine so brightly, the darkness must be present. It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Given another shot at life, I would seize every minute of it. Look at it and really see it. Try it on, live it, exhaust it, and never give that minute back until there was nothing left of it. Look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. Everything is phenomenal. Everything is incredible. Never treat life casually. To be spiritual is to be amazed. The scariest thought in the world is that someday I'll wake up and realize I've been sleepwalking through my life, underappreciating the people I love, making the same hurtful mistakes over and over, a slave to mental illness, fear, and the habitual. I don't want you to be part of that. So wake up now and stay strong and radiate positivity from you. Next step is correction. Correction to you plan in case it is not working in right direction. When we plan, it happens that it may goes into wrong direction. In such situation, don't feel hopeless, because you still have chance to correct it. You may not see that chance sometime, but there is always a solution to any problem. So what you need to do is to think out of box. We must let go of the life we have planned, so as to accept the one that is waiting for us. Find out who you are and be that person. That's what your soul was put on this earth to be. Find that truth, live that truth, and everything else will come. Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. Wake up determined. Go to bed satisfied. You tell yourself, you've been through so much. You've endured so much. My time will change. And soon this will be just another memory that made me the strong. Live your beliefs and you can turn the world around. Our lives are stories in which we write, direct, and star in the leading role. Some chapters are happy while others bring lessons to learn. But we always have the power to be the heroes of our own adventures. Everyone has highs and lows that they have to learn from. But I start off with a good head on my shoulders. saying to myself, it's going to achieve my dream. I'm always thinking about creating. My future starts. When every day I find something creative to do with my life. Now that your eyes are open, make the sun jealous with your burning passion each day. In these times you have to be an optimist to open your eyes when you awake in the morning. Something special awaits you each day. All you need is to recognize it and make the most of it. Have a positive attitude, and then it is going to be fetch you good for your entire life. Once a professor entered the classroom with a glass jar, rocks, pebbles, and sand. The students were amused to see what he was up to. First, he started filling the rock parts into the jar until he couldn't add any more. He asked the students if the jar was full, and everybody nodded yes. He then started putting the pebbles inside the jar, which went inside through the small gaps, and he shakes the jar to allow the pebbles to get into those vacant spaces in between the rocks. He asked the same question to the students, and they again said that the jar was full. Finally, he poured the sand inside the jar, which went through the minute gaps and got filled in the jar. The professor explained that this is how you should set priorities in life. Rock is like your family, while pebbles are like your career, while sand is like the least priorities in life and unnecessary quarrels and egos. If you put sand on the jar first, it will get easily filled up, leaving no space for rocks and pebbles. You should identify your priorities in life and develop a good strategy to work towards fulfilling it, rather than wasting your time and effort on unnecessary aspects of life. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Life is what we make it. Always has been, always will be. You may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Rise up. Start fresh. See the bright opportunity in each day. Looked in the mirror every morning and ask myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no, for too many days in a row, you must know you need to change something. I will not let anyone scare me out of my full potential. You have to be better. You have to love more, hate less. You have got to listen more and talk less. You have got to know that this is your responsibility. Trying to grow up is hurting. You make mistakes. You try to learn from them. And when you don't, it hurts even more. Never bend your head. Always hold it high. Look the world straight in the eye. The power of imagination makes us infinite. The only journey is the one within. If my mind can conceive it, if my heart can believe it, then I can achieve it. Embrace the glorious mess that you are. Clouds come floating into my life, no longer to carry rain or usher storm, but to add color to my sunset sky. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. You must remember that no matter what went wrong the previous days, we just got a perfect opportunity to rewrite history and do better. That's called correction in life. The brain is a wonderful organ. It starts working the moment you think. So giving right path in life to your brain is in your desire. Everything in your life is dictated by you. Be who you want to be. Think positive thoughts, and great things will happen to you. Being happy or sad, gloomy or excited, moody or stable, you just have to make the right choice each time. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. If you set your goals ridiculously high and it's a failure, so divide your goals and dreams into smaller achievable dreams and target the bigger one at the end. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and that she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee, beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil, without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned and impatiently waited, wondering what he was doing. After 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He pulled the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. He then ladled the coffee out and placed it in a cup. Turning to her, he asked, "Daughter, what do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she hastily replied. "Look closer," he said, and touched the potatoes. She did and noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. He then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato went in strong, hard, and unrelenting, but in boiling water, it became soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was put in the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. "Which one are you?" he asked his daughter. "When problems knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean?" In life, things happen around us, but the only thing that truly matters is how you choose to react to it and what you make out of it. Life is all about leaning, adopting, and converting all the struggles that we experience into something positive. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Don't try to lessen yourself for the world. Let the world catch up to you. There's nothing more powerful than not giving a try. When it comes to luck, you make your own. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, that diminishes fear. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Achieving goals. I believe that if you'll just stand up and go, life will open up for you. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. Do not let making a living prevent you from making a life. Life is a beautiful thing, and there's so much to work about. The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing. The real test is not whether you avoid this failure, because you won't. It's whether you let it harden or shame you into an action, or whether you learn from it, whether you choose to persevere. Your current life is the result of your previous choices. If you want something different, begin to choose differently. I put my phone as far across the room as possible the night before to force me out of bed when the alarm goes off. One day you will wake up and there won't be any more time to do the things you've always wanted. So do it now. Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy. Watch your thoughts or they become words. Watch your words or they become actions. Watch your actions or they become habit. Watch your habits or they become character. Watch your character. It becomes your destiny. We think, mistakenly. That success is the result of the amount of time we put in at work, instead of the quality of time we put in. When I'm just waking up, I like to keep a space for my own thoughts and ideas. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. It is not the strongest of the species that's success, nor the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. This approach has never let me down, and it has made all the difference in my life. Once there was a girl who wanted to dream big and finally achieve your desired goals and dream in life.